हाय दिस इज़ गुड्डू भाई। आप लोग को तो पता ही है मैं लास्ट ईयर इंडिया से यूके आया था टू परस्यू माई एमएससी कंप्यूटर साइंस इन द यूके। बट व्हेन आई वाज इन माई एप्लीकेशन आई वाज सो कंफ्यूज्ड which country to finalize, which city to finalize, which university to go for, what to do, what not to do, and a hell lot of questions. But to cope with this, I used to do two things: either watch YouTube videos related to my doubts, or approach those people who are actually pursuing that course or have pursued that course from that country or the university before, and resolve my doubts according to that. So I decided to collate these two things and create a web series out of it named Guddu Bhai with Champs. In this web series, I would interview students who have either completed their studies or pursuing their current studies abroad and try to get some insightful information for you so that you can decide your further journey abroad. So today my first guest, or to say the first champ, is Parthav Mistry, who shares his journey. Let's get started. So welcome everyone on the first episode of Guddu Bhai with Champs. On the first episode we have Parthav Mistry with us, who has done his masters in wildlife management from Newcastle University, and he's going to share his experience with us today. So hi Parthav, how are you?
At the moment I'm a lot sleepy, but I'm good today. Good to see you.
Yeah, so as he's sleepy, we won't waste much of his time and we start straight away with the video. So to start with, just tell me about your journey to the UK and what did you do before deciding to come to the UK for your masters?
Okay, so I did my bachelor's from the UK as well. That was about 10 years back. I came to the UK in 2010 for my BSc in IT. After that I went back to India. I went to Bangalore for my MBA, which I dropped out in second year. Then I joined my dad's business and I had my own startup as well along with my brother. And I think from 2012 to 2019 I was in the business and I was in the startup as well. All these while, this field that I'm pursuing right now is something that I've wanted to do always in my life. Right from childhood I was passionate about wildlife and about conservation, but then nothing was really working out for me. Back in 2008, 2009 and in my school times, this was a field where people didn't know much about it. I mean, people still do not know much about it, but yeah, I wasn't much aware. I wasn't bold enough to take a decision that I can pursue a career in this. So I was knocking on the door from 2013 to 2018, 19. I was trying to figure out what can be done in this field, but nothing much was happening. I did few courses from BNHS and from WII. Back in 2019 Feb, I returned from Wildlife Institute of India, and that time I thought that okay, this is something that maybe I won't be able to pursue, and maybe some dreams are meant to be some dreams are meant to remain as dreams for at least some time. But then I was quite adamant. I kept persevering, and I think 2020 was the year where I started applying for a lot of unis in the UK, and then I got admissions in few of the unis, and then that is when I chose Newcastle, mainly because the course was very attractive to me, and I came to Newcastle last year, and I just finished my masters like 2-3 months ago. So yeah, that has been the journey so far. Like up until 2019 I was not sure, I was not looking forward to this. I didn't know that this was going to happen, and today after a year I'm done with my masters and I even have a job at the moment. So it's been quite a journey.
Okay, so what was the course and what did you learn from this?
So my course was masters in wildlife management and conservation biology. So this course is all about habitat loss, about wildlife loss, about biodiversity, about sustainability, environmental issues, how we humans are affecting the environment with our day-to-day tasks, how the environment is getting impacted, how we are getting impacted by the environment in turn. So yeah, there are a lot of aspects which were covered in this course, and like I said before, this is something that I wanted to do always. After a year, this course was a bit technical as well. We learned about quite important softwares like R, which is used in data analysis, used across a lot of other field as well. We used a software called GIS as well, which is again very important. It is used by the army, used by the civil engineers. So yeah, the course was a mixture of certain important softwares and certain important concepts about ecology. And yeah, overall the learning was it was a blend of on-field learning as well, and theoretical foundation as well. So it was quite helpful because I did not have any academic background in this field before. So it was quite a lot.
Why did you choose UK for your masters, and which other countries did you consider?
So okay, for choosing UK, there were multiple reasons. One of the reason was I said there are two reasons I think which precedes everything else, and that is I wanted to settle abroad, and UK was my first priority because I have got few relatives here, and me being a social person, I didn't want to end up in a country where I have no one, like in a country where I don't know anyone. Hence UK was I had a bit of a soft corner for UK because I was already here for my bachelor's as well, so I knew the country. One of the reason was the language as well. There were a few countries in Europe, but then in language is an issue over there. In Germany you have to learn German. Go to Spain, you have to learn Spanish. So yeah, that was one another plus point of coming to the UK, that it's English, so it's quite familiar as well. And plus with the UK, they provide these sort of courses where even if you've not had a similar academic background in the field, you are still eligible to apply. There are a lot of courses across the world where you have to come from a similar discipline if you want to apply for further studies, whereas in the UK you can switch your field quite easily. For me especially, someone coming from an IT background, not having any academic background in the field of wildlife ecology, this was ideal for me because otherwise I wouldn't be eligible to do my masters anywhere else. So yeah, that was one of the reasons. And plus in the UK there were some amazing unis. The ones that I applied to, most of them belong to the Russell group of universities, which obviously is a plus point. And I think yeah, these are the blend of reasons why I applied to the UK.
So why did you choose Newcastle University, and which other universities you applied in?
I applied in about 17 unis. Out of the 17 unis, I got admission in Exeter, in Southampton, in Newcastle, in East Anglia, and there was one more. I'm not able to recall the name on the top of my head, but yes, Exeter is one of the unis which is leading in my field, in the field of ecology. Southampton is highly ranked as well. I chose Newcastle because the course in Newcastle was much more appealing to me. It covered wide subjects, wider compared to the course in Exeter and Southampton. Hence I chose Newcastle. Plus obviously the city, Newcastle is one of the best cities when it comes to student life. It's cheap as well, and being up in the north has some advantages as well. I didn't want to be in like down south in the UK. Exeter, Southampton are pretty much like this.
So why did you choose to come in the middle of a pandemic?
So basically, I didn't choose to come in the middle of pandemic, but it was it was a mixture of a lot of reasons why this just happened. While I was about to leave from India, things were getting bad in the UK, and that time I was not sure if I should be going or not, because my course was anyway going to be online. A month prior to my course, I had an option to defer my course to the next year, and I was quite tempted as well. But then I was not sure how things would be after a year, so And I think probably a year would be too much to wait for. I think a year of waiting in that anxiety was a lot to contain, and that is why I thought of coming to the UK last year. Back then, they had promised us that we were going to have 3 years of 3 hours of weekly teaching, face-to-face teaching. But then, of course, that didn't go according to the plan. Second wave came in, and everything went offline. So yeah, I mean, if I knew that this was going to happen earlier, then I wouldn't have chosen. But yeah, I did not know that second wave was going to come in, and that is why it just happened.
Did you face any obvious challenges while deciding to change your field and pursue your masters when you just turned 30?
Yeah, so this year I just turned 30, and I can't think of any specific challenges, but yes, as you know how the Indian culture, the Indian society is structured, and so obviously there were other kind of societal pressures, and when you're late into your career, switching to a different field obviously is not very easy. But then in my case, I was always very adamant on pursuing this field. I was very motivated and dedicated as well, that I want to do something in this field. And this last year, when the chance was presented to me, I didn't want to give it up. So yeah, I was quite convinced. I was quite sure that I'm gonna do this course. I'm gonna go for it. So yeah, it was not really nothing in specific that I can think of. But yeah, it does require, I would say, it does require a lot of motivation, a lot of commitment as well. That nearing your 30s, or when you are into late 20s and you want to go abroad, do masters, there are certain things which can make it trickier. So yeah, those things were there, but yeah, I think quite committed for this course.
So as I know you are working currently, what is your current job and your roles and responsibilities?
So I'm currently working as a GIS technician. So GIS is Geographic Information Systems. So it's a software normally used used extensively in my field. It's used by the army as well. It's used by civil engineers as well. So it mainly it's got to do with satellites, clicking high definition images and mapping different type of landscapes, mapping different types of information onto the map, and analyzing that information. So right now I'm working in a company where our clients are DEFRA. It's a government organization in the UK. So we deal with farmers' lands, where we assess the land and we try to identify different type of landscape, different type of agriculture practices. We capture features on the land. So yeah, that is what we do, and then we verify or unverify the land parcels. So that is what the job is all about.
So I'm just very curious about your course. Can you just elaborate your course in much detail for us?
So this field, as like you rightly said, not a lot of people have heard about this even back in India a year as well. 10-15 years back, this field was completely unknown. A lot of people have started venturing into this field lately, like say past 5-7 years, but still it is a lot unknown. This is because right from our childhood, right from our school times, our education system is designed very inwardly, as in inwardly to human civilization. We are not taught a lot about how the civilization reacts or interacts with the entire biosphere, as in like the natural environment and how we are dependent on it. You might be aware that just few years back we got EVS as a subject in school. So but now obviously a lot of things are changing. Just few days back I read the news that Maharashtra government, they have implemented a subject on climate change and environment, in addition to EVS obviously. So I think it is now that people are realizing the importance of us understanding our place in the biosphere. So when I say biosphere, it's about our human civilization along with the environment, the wildlife ecosystem and how we are connected to it and how we are heavily dependent on ecological services. That's what we call ES, ecological services. So I think it is very important that, like, what my field is concerned with is we work on the frontiers or borders where the human civilization or our activities interact with the natural world, with the environment, with other elements of the biosphere, and things that we should not be doing, things that we should be doing more proactively, things that need to be taken care of. You would have heard a lot about this word nowadays: sustainability, sustainable development. So this is all is about, how sustainable can we be. Development obviously is important, but how are we able to develop sustainably or not? It is basically inculcating everything into this, about your environment, about your biodiversity, about wildlife loss, habitat loss, and integrating all of these with the human civilization. So understanding these concepts is about, like, this is what the course is all about.
So now that you have done with your course and you are already working, what future plans do you have?
I've just finished my masters. I'm working. Yes. So at the moment, to be honest, I'm slightly confused. As in, I want to. There are certain roads that I'm exploring at the moment. I want to either take up a PhD, as I like the research aspect of my field a lot. So I might take up PhD. I might take up an MPhil course. It's a 2-year course or a 1-year MPhil course, which is an MPhil course sits between PhD and MSc. So I might take up that. And obviously, I want to work in big institutes like IUCN. IUCN is International Union for Conservation of Nature. I want to work in IUCN, or probably WWF, or some of these. I'm not able to think of more institute at the moment. There are some institutes that I want to work into. I want to work in the field rather than doing desk-based jobs. So there are two to three options that I'm trying to explore at the moment. I'm trying to apply for certain research work as well. So I'll see how it works out for me.
So as we are towards the close of this episode, what advice would you like to give to the budding students who are planning to study abroad?
I've seen this trend lately that since past 5-7 years, a lot of people are shifting abroad mainly for studies. One thing I would like to say to everyone is, everyone should ask themselves this question, why they would want to move abroad, or why they would want to study abroad. Is it because there's a specific reason why they want to do it, or because there are people who want to do it because everyone is doing it? So that shouldn't be the case. You should set your priorities right. What priorities you have? Priority is your field and your long-term target. So these three things are important. Obviously your field is a lot important. Like for some fields, India is a very good market. For some field, India is not a very good market. So depending upon what field you want to pursue, it is important that you choose your country accordingly. And yes, long-term, where you want to be, that is a very pertinent question to ask. And yes, I think if you think through these three questions, then you will be in a much better position to understand that if you really want to go abroad, or you don't want to go abroad, or you want to study in India, because even in India education system is quite nice, and of course it's nice in the UK as well, or for that matter in the US or anyway. So it's about your priorities at the end of the day, what you want to do, and then you can take a call.
So thank you so much, Parthav, for all the valuable inputs that you have given today. I'm sure our viewers will be benefiting from it, and wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year in advance. Have a good day.
Thank you, same to you as well.
So that was the video, guys. If you like the video, please like, share and subscribe the channel, and please share this video to as many people as you can who can benefit from it. Thank you so much. On the first episode we have Parthav Mistry. अरे यार इसका कोर्स भूल गया मैं